Well, welcome to this roundup episode of FPL Top Dogs Ballyhaunis. This is the end of season review, and I'm very happy and pleased to announce that we have this year's winner, 2022 to 23, of the Christy Nicholson Pub Fantasy League FPL Top Dogs trophy is no other than the mission possible, Rory HARFORD. Hello. Hello, Mr. HARFORD. Can you read me loud and clear?
Can you
Hello,
hear me?
hello, the mission. Hello.
Oh yeah. Hello, how are you?
Yes, this is the guru here.
Yeah,
Live
do you
from,
prefer Guru or Vince Wega?
yeah, I've got loads of names. I've got Val Wega, Vince Wega, the guru, all sorts of names for me.
Mm.
Never stops. But yeah, live
I
here.
love that cap.
Yeah, this is the FPL Top Dogs. That's the first season. The first season. Um, Joey the Commando Neenan won, and Faceman Healy came second. So I've got a few caps to give out for last year and this year, and I think this year will be no other than. Are you a fellow Dub, or where is Lusk?
Yeah, fellow Dublus, North County.
Okay, brother. So obviously the hats this year are going to be a mix of sky blue and navy blue. What do you reckon?
For the mission.
Has to be. You know,
Absolutely love it. Yeah.
like the winner of the Christy Nic. It's
You could
Snom.
go Chelsea blue for me if you want as well. So
Oh,
that's the
you're a
one we had this
Chelsea as
year.
well. Oh, that sort. Yeah, yeah. You've got a lot in common with a lot of the lads in the Christy Nic community. Loads of Chelsea fans. We're just waiting on the Stevie STRETFORD NOLAN. He'll be dropping in soon, so I'll let you know when he's
No
coming.
problem.
Yeah, just tell us a little bit about how you met up with Stevie, and you got the invite for the Christy Nic, because you've popped in one season. You could be a one season wonder, bang, crash. For me personally, if I went into a snooker hall, I believed I'm the best, and I run everybody close and maybe beat them. But that's prior to the knowledge of the quality that you're facing in that snooker hall. And then when you get to know who you're facing, that's when the nerves hit you. You don't play. Was that a bit like what you just came in and you just didn't know who anyone was apart from Stevie?
Yeah, like if I could be completely honest, like I'm in a second. We do a draft league, and the second half of the season we actually did a lot of the Mayo lads joined, so I met a lot of lads through that.
Oh,
Um, but the reason I joined was I actually thought it was Nolan's pub, the Christy Nicholson pub.
yeah.
I mixed it up, but he had put up a link online and he told me to join. And I joined a few leagues, like, and I've only really started taking it seriously the last 2 years. And yeah, I don't really think. I think you might. I think I might have had an advantage because I didn't really know how serious something I was joining, and I didn't really start too great, but I didn't really wasn't too worried about it. You know, I only really kind of realized how serious it was when Nolan was messaging me when I was close to potentially winning it, or I think I was taught maybe halfway through. Yeah. So how I met Nolan though was through he went to college in Limerick, and he's very good friends with one of my friends from back here. So he actually lived in Lusk for a while as well. And we're sure we used to just always talk about fancy football. Probably more the draft, but yeah, a lot of fancy football talk.
Well, this is what we're on about, because the Christy Nic, the FPL Top Dogs, we want to develop a sort of franchise thing going on.
Mm,
But also that it's open really to local people, but people who have friends around the country or whatever that want to build the rivalry within the league between each other.
yeah,
Like a few last year, a few lads would get someone in because they want to have that rivalry. And so this is the way it works. And I think it's brilliant. I don't want this to be like 20,000 people in and then it's just like, oh God. I want to have
yeah,
local rivalry, and anyway, listen, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll admit Stevie Stretch. He's waiting to come in.
no problem. Sounds good. You're in London yourself, are you? We've won in Ireland, London, and Australia.
Yeah, and we have Australia. Australia, are you receiving? Australia, Australia, Perth, are you receiving? Oh, wow, it's the dancer. Hello, sir. Jackie Malone. Oh, great to see you. Oh, we got London, Dublin, and Perth.
How the fuck you turn this on?
Yeah, sorry, Rory, do you know Jackie as well? Jackie Malone, or do any?
Yeah, I know him well enough now through the draft we've joined. The
Oh,
same bit of rivalry, all right.
How do you get the mic to turn on?
I don't know why though. His nickname the Dancer, is it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He's a Mission Impossible in the man.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Stevie Streck, congratulations. I have
We'll take the speaker.
I have one of these things for you, Stevie.
Oh, good. We can hear you.
Yeah, I have one of these that you're getting one of these for fourth. You know, marble engraved. I'm waiting on the delivery of the trophy, so I should be getting them later on this evening. So, how is everything over there? I hear there's a lot of rain in Perth.
Yeah, it's not great, Finn. Apparently, the west of Ireland is the best place to be living right now.
Yeah, London heat waves over here, 30 degrees, crazy. Gonna get thunderstorms there. So where we start? Any thoughts? So we were just talking about how you bumped into Rory and you got mentioned the league and you got lots of rivalry with the draft. And I suppose with the FPL Top Dogs, we haven't really took the draft anywhere serious. So can you just elaborate for everybody back home about like who this Rory, like who's Rory Halford? Well, he's the mission.
I mentioned Rory Harford very, very early in the FPL Top Dogs. I remember very early, Rory Harford started making waves in the league, and there was a bit of chat about him in the group chat. Who's this dude? I don't really know him. And a couple of boys asked me, and I said, right, boys, I have a friend from Dublin. He's an FPL expert, right? He's been a big fan of the podcast for a long, long time, and he wants in, okay? And one thing led to another. He ends up winning the thing. He's an absolute FPL genius. As you said, he brought me into FPL through the draft, and I was blown away. Yeah, and you can see it. He took out the Commando first season, first try.
Yeah. That many people can take down the Commando, as you know, Vinny, as you know well.
Yeah, well, Rory was saying earlier on in the week when we were arranging this the Zoom that Rory felt that Salah and Isaac, he got the run on the majority there, and that like for me, I thought who was his wild card he played in 25. He got the Brighton guys in McAllister and I think it was Marsh. He got on really quick there, but yeah. And I think
it's funny you say that about the wild card though, because that's the week that Manchester United lost 7-0 to Liverpool, and I didn't have Salah, so I had a massive red arrow straight away from the wild card.
Well, that's right. When the wild card came in, there was a big talk about the wild card and when you should actually play it. And I remember Rory telling me he's going for a particular week, and I wasn't a big fan of it. And there was a big result the week after, as you said, and the people at wildcarded didn't get the big benefit straight away. But what was Hefty's biggest asset was that wildcard that took him right up to nearly game week 34, 35.
Yeah, it didn't pay off Rory initially. I know I had a look at the first couple of weeks, but after that, game week 26, 7, 8, always 20 points ahead of the average. I did go into your thing. I think it was just I think that was the bedrock and the foundation of, you know, like it didn't pay off initially, and that's why you have to have patience in this game. Because I went Lula with a wild card and a free hit in the first get 4 game weeks. I would get somebody in, then transfer them out in anger the next day because they didn't do this. I just totally went. I know what I did wrong. So I think you were patient and you backed your guys.
Yeah, you'll hold your chips a bit longer next season than I'd say.
Oh yeah. I've learned a lot of lessons, and you can't get away with that sort of, you know, bravado and spite and all the negative aspects of emotions I exhibited in that first 8 game weeks. And I feel like I've had a live nervous breakdown for 38 game weeks all season, and it's all on YouTube. And I just
what's the beauty of fantasy football, Vin? You can do it all again next season.
Well, yeah, no, for me, it's the road to redemption now, and I'm so waiting for this season, and I'm gonna really ruin the whole lot of you and prove that this is just an aberration.
FPL Top Dogs League 2023,
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah,
The
we get a clean slate. We get a
Next
clean
mission
slate.
impossible film.
Yeah, we all get a clean slate, and you know what I
The
mean.
ridiculous.
We've got a few weeks now to bask in the glory. You know, Rory, we'll all meet up sometime when I'm back in July, and we've got to figure out this. Obviously, it's a pretty international community we have in the Christy Nic.
We're all over the world, Ben.
Yeah.
Ben, just initial thoughts on the last season. So, if we talk about the season as a whole, myself and Jackson were trying to kind of break it down as to like pivotal points. Who was the biggest surprise for you out of this season overall?
I think Jamesy Lyons has got to have the Mavericks got to have a massive mention. I've had to listen. If you've seen my last episode with the graphs, he's been in the top. Apart from 3 game weeks, he's been in the top 150, 200, or 100. You know, all season. So he's very interesting to watch, and I think he's keeping it very serious. But obviously, I like Rory's just totally blindsided everybody, I think. And I swear to God, next season everybody will be watching.
I tell you, Guru, I wanted an invite to this podcast for a while, and it took me having to win it to get one. Nobody wanted me on this podcast 8 weeks ago, you know.
Vin, I think if we're giving out trophies, right, as like let's say player of the season and stuff like that, I think obviously first debut season beats the Commando. Rory Harford would have to get player of the season. But if we're picking a player of the season, I think we'd all agree that James Lyons is.
Yeah,
he is a top.
Can there be a trophy for the Maverick of the
The
season?
Maverick of the season. He deserves something.
well,
After the
he's
season
got third place. He's won his first trophy now, third place, which is phenomenal. The top 3 is just unbelievable. If anyone's in that top 3, all season for the whole, I see them all as one, really. I see them the representatives of that season for me in my mind, and it's all about them, really. And the 4th place STRETFORD one is like a consolation prize. I really hate the aspect of 4th place, so I'm happy. That's the way.
And I was delighted to get 4th in the end. I don't think I should have I think 4th was a very good result for me. And then when you told me there's a prize for 4th, I was like, I'm absolutely delighted. So even to be up there with the likes that are, as you said, 1, 2, 3, and likes of Shane Healy, Kieran Kiley, all very, very good players. So to even come 4th, I was delighted.
Well, you're very consistent this year, and you proved it again, Stevie. So you're knocking at the door, and you possibly one season you'll do a mission on it.
But the hell of that! I told Jaxie that's my one dream in life is to win the FPL Top Dogs.
You just didn't get that haul at the right time, did you, Stevie? All season.
Never.
You seem to be like.
No, it was always changing. About that later to kind of dice everyone's team, but I know there was points in my season that let it slip. I had a terrible start. I was looking at we got an email today from the fantasy football, like your graphs of everything of where you were the season. I had a very poor start, so for me to claw back, I was just even happy with that.
And you never rode the Astounding train either.
No, I was late to Saka. I was late to Astounding. I didn't captain Haaland 3 times when he scored hat-tricks. So I calculated up if I captain Haaland them days, like I would have been up maybe in the top. I was on 90k. I would have get top maybe 50k possibly, but 90k I was happy with.
I suppose being boring, it really pays off in FPL. Just keep it on Haaland, and when you hear he's not playing, just do it. You know,
I think especially this year though, wasn't it? Like the blanks and all kind of set up perfectly. The doubles and all. The same teams were doubling. Like it was a really year to just be boring with picks.
Yeah. It was
well, that's why I think the wildcard worked out, because there was a loaded Brighton doublers and you got them in the wildcard, so then later on you didn't have to transfer them in.
Yeah, like there was Brighton, Man United, Man City, all had the same doubles. Like
yeah, I think what I'm going to do for next season is do my pick and trying to, like Rory mentioned something that he's not going to look at any influencers or any of these, and he's going to make up his own mind with his team. Rory said it. Rory.
I believe it when I see it. That man is an FPL fucking monger. He doesn't be off the fucking thing.
Yeah, he eats and sleeps Twitter.
You'll never see anything Nick transfer that hasn't been posted on Twitter 500 times already.
He's
Okay, look, I think I was misquoted there. Misquoted. I think you gotta pick your times to go different, right? You got a free hit, right? You're not going for the template free hit. Go for one or two punts you like. You know, near the end of the season, go for one. I think of a transfer first, and then I will say I'll probably go to Twitter or YouTube, and I'm like, nobody's talking about this player. Okay, I've done something wrong. You know?
So you then just go and do what they do. I'm telling you, look at his team compared to Andy's, and wouldn't be much different there.
Do you have you probably all listen to. Do you have a favorite content creator or anyone that you would give more weight to? Or?
I don't follow any of that stuff on Instagram or Twitter. I've never seen it in my life.
Well, maybe you would have got hired in Ford if you did.
If you want to buy the league, man, you're the Man City of the league.
Yeah, I'll buy anything. Yeah, I'll take the league.
I'll buy anything for a Top Dogs trophy. I'd do anything. I'd sell me soul.
See, that's the difference between me and you, Vin. We do our own thing. We're our own players.
Well, I was just mentioning that. Well, I think I'm going to stay off this influencer thing, and I'm going to make my mind up with my own selection. Have a good look and see, and then I'll compare what I'm doing near enough to game week 1 to the template. There's always a template. I don't think this is the time and the place to go through the templates. I have one done for game week 1, and now I think it was game week 17 after the World Cup, and about game week 31. I don't know if you want to have that sort of thing where we can look over the templates. Maybe it's not that time now, but we can. I've got something set up in regard to when to play wildcards, because I know we're still waiting for the prices to come out and all that. So maybe it's a bit too early to be talking about when you do wildcards.
There's a lot of transfers as well. So like players aren't going to. They're not even in the league yet. So like, the next 4 weeks you're still just assessing everything until even the final week, because there could be late transfers over the line.
Well, what we can talk about the fixtures. The fixtures are out, guys.
Oh yeah.
And apparently,
does it look like it's 3 cities?
Lads, Man City's fixtures are just absolutely mental amazing. And Arsenal, Man City, we have to have 3 of each. That's 6. So you've only got 5. You're looking to make a differential. So, and then after
Man City blanking 17, nope. It's too early to be looking at blanks.
We
go play the World Cup.
Joke. Is it kind of born already, Vin, that we're kind of looking at a template straight away? I know it's stupid to go against the template at the start of the season. I think I heard someone say it before. You never win fantasy football in the first couple of weeks, but you lose it. So I think you have to, especially the first couple of weeks, to save the rank, go relatively template. What are you going to gain by, going totally rogue and going down by 200 points after a couple of weeks? So I think template at the start isn't too bad.
Well, what I thought myself is that, like in golf, you don't want to like throw the whole tournament away in the first day or even the second.
Exactly.
Move in day 3rd. So we can do that in the first quarter of the season, second quarter of the season, like in the golf. And that's what we don't want to do. We want to keep in the game at the beginning. I didn't. I went crazy. Went too differential. Just bored or just angry or vexed. What have I got here? We can go through a few of these pictures I have here. Who's the inspiration behind this work of art?
I think I created that one there, Vin. Yeah, just after you said the mission, I thought, what a perfect way to represent our leader and winner of this year's FPL.
Well, it was Mission Impossible. Like Joey, Commando Neenan. Joey is just a stalwart of unbelief. 79th in the world there, I think it's about 2 years ago when he first won it. I was thinking it's going to be a straight 3 in a row. Huh?
Can you get up the last 5 or 6 game weeks to see where Hefty was versus Commando? How did it go in the last maybe 10 to 5 games? and then how did it finish up? Can you remember, Hefty, were you top? When did you go top?
Oh, geez, I can't really remember. I think I might have been top maybe 4 weeks ago, but I can't really remember what time. I had no idea Commando was such an excellent player. 79th in the world, like.
The godfather of FPL.
Where did the name Commando come from, Vin?
It came from where Mark the Oracle Phillips was. He went into a Saturday or Sunday or something. He was leading, and when we woke up the following morning, Commando was winning by. We couldn't believe it. He's beaten Phillips by a point, and we were all scratching our heads. How in God's name did he do that? So I thought of MacGyver, the man that gets out of every single situation, jumps on helicopters, jumps on trains, drives and pilots submarines. He can do anything. He's obviously 3 in a row is coming up, and then all of a sudden, crash bang wallop, Mission Impossible's achieved. It's just but that's where it came from. It's just absolute. It's nothing like he goes Commando out and bubble or anything. I mean, in a natural sort of Rambo way, he takes control of the FPL and like he's a platoonist. You know, it's mice up against, tigers. We're all the mice, and the Commandos amongst the mice, mate. Did any of you see that Danny Dyer film? Is it called Vendetta? 2013 film.
Yeah, Vendetta.
Well, it said that he's a SAS guy, and how does it feel to be a lion amongst lambs? And that's basically, Joey when coming with the Commando, like so. But straightforward. This is just
Not anymore. It's the mission.
This is just the 3 I expect to have in my team. I like Jesus, but Martinelli's a must. I would say, can you give me some sort of idea of how much these prices will be for Odegaard, Saka? I think that's Saka there. Saka's got to be.
What was it?
All 8 minimum, I think.
What's that, Bud?
I'd say they're all 8 million minimum. Saka 10.5.
8 million. I think Saka's 9. I think Martinelli is 8. What was Odegaard at the start of the season? Did anyone remember? He was not expensive.
I think
Martinelli was
6 mil or something.
But I think he got the most points, did he?
That's one thing I didn't have. And Martinelli I didn't get him until like game week 4 or 5, and he banged every day. He's going off.
So
who do you think got the most points out of all of them?
Saka.
I think Odegaard, didn't he?
Yeah, it was Odegaard. Yeah, he ended at 6.9 million. So what was he? 6.5? Just say, or 6?
Yes, 6. He got up by 1 million. I know the most, and the player that increased most was Rashford. He went up to full 1 million. Trippier went in like 0.8, 0.9.
So
212 points, not even on penalties. Like, you'd like to think he'd be at least 8.5 next year.
The top striker. Odegaard is the top midfielder. And who's the top defender?
Well, it's got to be that
White.
Saliba, isn't it?
Absolute bargain as well.
White is the most scored defender.
10 points more than Gabriel.
No, sorry, in the whole FPL.
The whole FPL. Sorry.
Trippier was.
Had to be Trippier, right?
And White was the steal as well.
Then White is second,
wasn't he?
Yeah, he was 4.5, ended on 5.
He was second overall.
He was tied with Trent. It was obviously 8 million.
That's crazy. Yeah, Trent was not good value at all.
I don't think I owned White once.
No, I don't think I owned White once at all. I don't think I owned many. I owned Zinchenko there for a couple of weeks. He was actually very productive for me. But yeah, I wish I had more Arsenal assets. More City
or
assets.
Newcastle defenders in the top 9 defenders. That's fucking crazy, right?
They went on a crazy run of about 10 clean sheets in a row. Yeah. And it was like
they never really rotated either, did they?
No, it was all the same 4. Trippier was one of the picks of the season, probably behind the likes of Martinelli or the likes of even Alman. He was the most consistent player
in the first half of the season before he got injured.
Before he got injured was an absolute warrior.
So what are we going to? We're going to have a bit of issue between City and Arsenal players. It's like four ways: a little bit of attack with a defender, or all out attackers. What do you think on Arsenal? Do you think Gabriel is a must for that attacking threat, plus two of these three? Or do you know it's going to be a tricky tightrope to walk with City and Arsenal assets, which way you go?
I think the only current guaranteed starters in the Arsenal team are probably Saka. You're going to be safe with him. Odegaard now is going to be playing 90 minutes every day. Now, I know Martinelli is balled out, but he's still a risk, and we still don't know. We don't know who they're going to buy. Jesus, you'd like to think, again, is he going to be the best striker for value? If, like, City, well, Haaland's obviously going to be crazy expensive. Kane, again, scored 30 goals last season. Like, I think
Kane could go up in price,
I think Kane is, he might go up. He was only 11.5. So he was way off Salah, and he scored 30 goals. So if you want the two premiums, because Haaland is a cert in every team straight away, and if you want Kane, I think he's going to be very expensive. So if you're going to go Kane and Haaland, which a lot of people will after the last season, you are getting rid of an awful lot of strikers. So like Arsenal strikers probably out the door. So that means Saka, Odegaard are your two picks, and then you're going to be rotating. Depends who you're going to pick for City. Who the hell is going to play for City again next season? It's the exact same situation we're always in.
Well, yeah.
What do you think as well about
like, you know, we're not too sure with the City attack. You know, Alvarez is another one. I think that's where Alvarez got the last couple of game week 37. Rory's Alvarez scored 9 points, and also he won it so well because TAA came on for Rory when there was an injury, and Joey didn't get that. He had you know, so I mean, Joey could have won this thing apart from two things.
Yeah.
It was only 6 points in the end, and I think it's just a twist of fate. It could have went the other way for Joey. It didn't.
One transfer.
I think the Alvarez move was the final nail in the coffin for the season. Where did that Alvarez move come in?
Check Andy FPL, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The reason I went Alvarez is because when you're picking somebody who's a rotation risk, he's cheap, and they had doubles, so he was guaranteed one start over the doubles, and then maybe 30 minutes in the next game, and that's fine for a Man City asset. Like you know, even if he has a double, like, you know, you don't need two nailed on starters because they don't really exist at City. So to get, like, and I think he sat on my bench for quite a few weeks as well. Like he really was cheap. And he started playing in instead of Kevin De Bruyne. And like, you knew Kevin De Bruyne was going to play the Champions League games. So he actually kind of worked out as a little perfect asset. Now, saying that, I did get Ake at the same time as well, who really didn't do me any good at any point.
But he gave you the clean sheet in the last game week, though. He gave you points.
Yeah.
I know, but like, I had him on the bench one week, he scored and got a clean sheet. Played him the next, he was off at 58 minutes. Before clean sheet, you know, he was a real pain in the arse, if I'm being completely honest.
This is why you got to be patient at FPL. We said it earlier.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I mean, but yeah, any rotation risk, like, you know, as long as he's cheap, as I was sitting on the bench, like, because I couldn't really find. I did go Mahrez the last game of the season because we had leaks, but I found it very hard to. After the World Cup, I put Foden in. I was trying to get ahead of everybody ahead of the curve because he was so good, and I was like, "There's no way Pep won't play him," and I had him sitting there for weeks. And sure, I don't think Foden really played any part of the FPL season after the World Cup.
Now joining my club with Lucas Digne as FPL players I hate, because any time I've ever got Foden, he hasn't played, or even if he has, he hasn't returned. So
didn't he bang 10 goals this season?
He's still a good returns, but never when you have him. He's like Wilfred Zaha when you
scored them all in a quick bunch, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, he had a hat trick against Man United, a goal beforehand, a goal after. Like, he did kind of actually only score in 1.5 months. Now, just say it. But,
Rory, I think who came off the bench for you for Ake? He missed out on the double game week in game week 37. Was it Trippier that came on, or TAA, or was it Shaw?
Oh, does it say at the bottom? I can't. I'm Ake. Not even. I don't think I actually did bench him because I thought he would get some minutes in the second game.
So you had these from the start, and you benched the double game weeker.
I benched him because I knew he wasn't going to play the first game.
All
And
right,
I figured Trippier, even if he plays the second game, Trippier was a better one.
Well, Rory, I was
I
thinking
don't like
you had-
benching a double game week player,
Yeah,
but he wasn't going to play.
I was thinking you had Trippier and Botman on the bench, and Trippier came on for Akai. Because if you notice with Joey, if we go to Joey's team, unfortunately for him, Trippier didn't come off the bench, so he lost. He lost points because he had TAA instead. I can't get it up there, but I think that was another twist of fate. But I suppose we got about 8-9 minutes left anyway. That's where can we go after this? Oh, I don't know. So you're thinking Dinya, who your flop of the season, quick?
Flop of the season.
For me,
it's obviously
anyway.
Neto. Has to be Neto. It was like 80% ownership. Did nothing.
Or who else? Who's the other pick that? Bailey.
I thought you didn't watch any content.
Yeah, this was the template for game week 1 coming off Andy from Let's Talk. So that's the Neto there, but that was the template there. I went against Diaz. I think I went with Darwin, but that was Cancelo, James, Gabriel, and his 74 points was phenomenal. And this thing, that's all you had to do all season. Follow Andy, sit on him, match play him, pick your fights, and you finish above this guy. It's all there. They tell you everything. And if you just keep on them and silently assassin them, it's like Andy has a baby called all of us, and we're all his subscribers. And every subscriber is one of his babies. And we're growing up to try and take the father down. I'll tell you one thing. That's how I'm going to take this guy out down one day, mate. And I'm going to I'm going to call myself Andy from Let's Talk Baloney. Telling you, mate. This is the game. This is the sort after the World Cup. Everybody was riding the Salah train. Rashford, Saka, Mount was a good call, but this is Wilson. I think that's somebody else came in there. I can't remember. Everyone went on.
One of the biggest picks of the whole season, Vin, was people who went Wilson over Isaac in that game.
Oh yeah,
big game win.
Yeah.
Turned on had Isaac himself, but if you had Wilson, and some people have him captain because it was a captain option that week, that was a defining moment in a lot of people's seasons.
Lads,
30-point swing like.
Yeah, I recommend Watkins as well. Keep an eye on Villa's games as well, especially after game week 6 and 7. But
it made some good transfers as well.
Yeah, I think I went kind of wrong last season because I had a lot of faith in Bowen and who else was it? That had a good season. I kind of sort of picked last season's
flop of the season, Vin. Son was the flop of the season for
I
me.
think so, yeah.
Oh yeah, Son, yeah, and Sterling for me. I'm going for Sterling.
Yeah,
I had after the wildcard, or before the wildcard, I had one free transfer, and Son had a good game, and he actually returned for me. So there's some players like that are flops.
Yeah, the Leicester
you get
game.
them in,
Yeah.
some people are lucky.
Yeah, the Leicester game. And Rory, who's your flop then?
I mean, I'd have to. Neto and Bailey come to mind. But like even the likes of like Reece James and Chilwell, I think people forget.
Or Costa.
I think people forget that we were all probably thinking 5 backs, 4 backs are essential at the start of the season. Even Cancelo, it was all wing backs and everything. It all shifted quite quickly.
Yeah.
100%. I had at the start, I had Trent, Bravo, Cancelo, James, and someone else I can't remember, but starting. So the template did shift fairly quick this season.
Yeah, but
like, I bet you this podcast last year you were all saying the game's broken, it's going to be 5 backs from now on. Like I thought the same. Defenders need to be priced much better, but it really did take a shift this year. But I'll go with Neto for flop.
Right. These are the first games of the first 6 game weeks here, and on the top here, I took this from Fantasy Scout, so I did a bit of research. So thanks to them. Arsenal's got the best fixtures. City, then Chelsea, Luton. Luton have amazing fixtures up to game week 11. They only have one of the top 6. And Brighton. So the worst fixtures is Forest, West Ham, Newcastle. So not many people want many Newcastle players from Villa, City away, Liverpool at home, Brighton away, Brentford at home, and then Sheffield. So it's a tricky run. So what I feel like doing, especially for Newcastle, is depending on price. Try and sneak a Newcastle player in to nail the Villa game and Sheffield game, just or even the.
I think you're right there, Vin, because we don't know anything about these teams. Like, we think these are good fixtures, but if you looked at players or teams playing Bournemouth last year, we would have said that's an easy fixture, and they got some good results. So I wouldn't go too much on that, because after a couple of games, you might want, as you said, Newcastle players. You might want West Ham
you
players
will.
if they look very
You
good
will.
enough.
Yeah, you will. That's why I want to fit in a Newcastle here, and I'm going to fit in a Forest player as well. That Awani, depending on what price he is, and I think he takes penalties. So like Forest here,
Yeah, he does.
they still have Sheffield at home, and they have. So I'm thinking that's how I think I'm going to play it this year. They got Burnley at home in game week 5. So I'm going to have snipers. I'm going to have a sniper season, and try to have like 7 to 6 of the template, and try to, you know, that's my thinking in it. What do you reckon, Rory? Too early for?
I think you're on the ball with Newcastle there, because I think I'll have Trippier. I mean, because the thing about him is he's playable in any fixture. He takes free kicks, he takes corners, so he can get an assist or anything. And if you get a clean sheet and assist, next thing you know, you're getting a haul.
Yeah.
See why? I this is actually the first time I've seen the fixtures, but I think you're going Trippier. 3 Arsenal's a shout, but I also think they seem to be signing Havertz, which is kind of detrimental because he kind of covers Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, and Jesus. So it could be a bit of a clusterfuck there. Maybe he'll take Xhaka's spot, but yeah, I think I'll go Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, Trippier. Christ knows which Man City assets. I mean, he seems to like Ake.
You might only need to have 2 City at the minute until we figure out.
Oh, geez, you need 3 Brighton, no?
Yeah. Well, anyway. Any final thoughts there, Stevie and Jackie? I've got just a couple of minutes left.
Yeah.
Anything on?
Final thoughts in the season, Vin, where it was another unbelievably entertaining FPL Top Dogs league. Absolute pleasure to be part of it. It's it's my favourite. I always say it. It's so well organised, and just a massive congratulations to the Mission Rory Harford on his massive win.
Yes, congratulations, Rory, and I'll see you sometime in July as well. And
that's excellent, the guru.
If I'm in Malaysia sometime as well, it's only a short 5 hours to Sydney for myself as well. I'm going in September, so I'll see you all guys when I get back in July. And Rory,
Yes,
any final thoughts of the season?
I've got 2. I really want to know 2 things. I want to know why these 2 lads have their nicknames, if you can, before I give my closing statement.
Well, Stevie STRETFORD NOLAN, which is a reference to United. He's took over from his dad, who's like himself and Jerry Lenihan are probably the most amazing United fans I've ever. Well, when I grew up in the pub dancing on tables with Stevie, Nolan Senior declared the biggest United fan of the year, and Dwyer has to be mentioned, the top 3 United. So Stretford and Jack the Dancer Malone. I saw him dancing. He's a movester. We were in epic that night, weren't we, lads? All of us, and it was just like Tina Turner. So Jack is Tina Turner in heart, body, mind, and spirit. Only joking.
A1 night. That was a crazy night in epic.
Okay, boys, I better leave it at that. Thanks so much for coming in, lads, and keep tuned to FPL Top Dogs, and we'll have more shenanigans from the community in the not so long future. So thanks for the season, guys. All out from FPL Top Dogs.
Perfect. Thanks for having us. Thanks, Guru. Thanks, Steph. Thanks, Dancer.
Good luck, Rory.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take care, lads.
Bye.